Welcome everyone to the Sprint Agile channel. Today I have the privilege of interviewing Mazdak Abtin. Mazdak is one of the greatest Agile coaches that I've ever worked with. We had the privilege of working together back in the ANZ Bank. Hi Mazdak and welcome to the show.
Hi Arash, how are you? Thank you for having me.
Good, thanks Mazdak. It's such a pleasure having you on the show tonight. So today we're going to talk about Agile and what does Agile really mean? What do you think? What's the meaning of Agile, Mazdak?
Yeah, so it's a very nice question because there are lots of definition and explanation about it. But if I want to quickly explain it, agile means how fast you are going to respond to the change.
So it's basically agility, it's nimbleness. I like that definition. Now,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people in the industry who think Agile is delivering value fast, is delivering, pumping out features, pumping out software, being able to deliver fast. What do you think about that? Like, has being fast got anything to do with agility?
So being fast is, yes, one element of agility, but not all of it. So yes, we need to be fast to deliver an effective value. However, it doesn't mean that we need to be fast to deliver any kind of work which does not make any sense to the customer, or it's not a right value, or it's not a right product, or it's not the right solution for them.
I like that definition. So the word you used was effective. It wasn't efficient. I hear a
Yeah.
lot of times people talking about, well, we want to use Agile because we want to be more efficient. What do you think about that?
So it depends on the situation. Agile can be focused on effectiveness. It can also focus on efficiency. But as I mentioned, it depends on the situation. And let me explain what do we mean by effectiveness. Effectiveness means if we are delivering a right value, a right product, a right solution, a right service, a right outcome to the customer, and the satisfaction of customer or the likeness of the customer would be the primary measure to validate that outcome or solution. Efficiency, however, means we assume that we are actually delivering a right product or right value. Let's optimize it. Let's improve it. Let's enhance it. So we have three terms under the efficiency. Enhancing product, for example, or solution, improving processes, and optimizing cost. All of those ones are sitting underneath of the efficiency. So being agile can actually address both of them, but depends on the situation. If the situation is complex, then we need to focus more on effectiveness. If the situation is less complex or complicated, then we need to focus on efficiency more than effectiveness.
I like that. So I remember you used the metaphor. We used to talk about this metaphor back then to explain the spectrum of agility. Can you think about that metaphor?
Yeah, so when I want to explain the agility and the spectrum of the agility, I usually use a metaphor of kangaroo and car and train. And because it's very easy for people to understand it. If and distinguish between efficiency and effectiveness, or why agility is not only about being fast. So if you consider kangaroo and then car and train, so obviously which one is the faster one?
The train. I mean, depends on the train, but
which one is the second faster one?
Probably the car.
Okay, so kangaroo is not fast, right? Yeah. Relatively speaking.
Yes.
If I ask you which one is the most agile one?
Of course, it's the kangaroo.
So why kangaroo is agile while it's not fast, as fast as car or as fast as train?
Great
What
question.
elements the kangaroo has, which these two others don't have?
Kangaroo is fast in responding to change. Is not fast in going efficiently in one direction.
Exactly, because kangaroo did not assume that he is going to the right direction. He or she always needs to, adjust the journey because he actually or she actually lives in a jungle or forest. So there is no straightforward journey from point A to point B, whereas train has that destination. So it's already planned. It's predictable. So train always knows that it needs to go from point A to point B. So effectiveness is not a question. Efficiency is a problem to be solved. So how fast we can actually travel from point A to point
So
B.
what you're saying is if an organization is operating in a context where everything is super clear, you know where you're going, the direction is set, and we know that's the right direction. It's
Yeah.
okay to come up with a repeatable process and optimize it and make it efficient and not be agile. Maybe you have a waterfall process or something which is super optimized for that context.
Yes, let's use not replace not be agile with being less agile, right? So because I tend to use the spectrum of being less agile and more agile because to me every single species and pieces in this world are agile, but to some extent, right? And it's relative. Agility is relative. This is what I'm trying to say. So, and yes, in the organization or companies that, as you mentioned, the direction is clear, the vision is clear, the customers are clear, the need of the customers are clear. So there is no need to go to the spectrum of the high spectrum of agility, right? So they need to focus, as you mentioned, on efficiency and optimizing the processes, the cost and enhancing their products rather than just, coming with the hypotheses and validate um, the the product or the value that they want to deliver to their customers.
Absolutely, Mazdak. I love how you use a spectrum to define agility and how you say agility is relative. I think that's what we need. So people talk about, when they talk about agile, they can't say, well, we are agile in our organization, or I have experience working in agile. But what's agile? It's not binary, like you're saying.
Yeah,
It's
it's not
spectrum.
binary.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and some people they say, well, we're already agile, but how
yeah.
are you as agile as you need to be? Maybe you need to be more agile, right?
Yeah, and there are different layers that can actually define the agility, I mean, or manifest the agility. For example, what sort of leadership style that we need to have, what sort of structure in the organization we need to have, what sort of mindset that is needed. But all of them, in my opinion, is depend to the situation or what sort of collaboration is needed, right? What framework, what tools, what type of focus we need to have.
Absolutely. I know you've done a great piece of work on that topic, the Mazdak's Lean Agile Maturity Pyramid emblem. I think that's a
Yeah,
fantastic topic for our next discussion because that could
yes.
easily take, an hour to talk about.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Okay, fantastic, Mazdak. It was such a pleasure having you here today, and hopefully we will have more conversations like this in future. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. It was my pleasure.
Thank you,
Cheers.
Mazdak. And by the way, I love your shirt.
Thank you. I
Okay.
like yours as well, right?
Thank you. Thank you. Try to keep up
Similar.
Persian heritage. Nice
Yes,
calligraphy here and poems. Same as
yeah,
yours.
exactly.
Thanks, Mazdak. Have a good night,
Cheers.
and I
Cheers,
will
buddy.
talk to you soon.